Objection!
This is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're on the Wii, as you can see. Nice little bit of it Wiiware. And this is Michaela.
This is Peter.
So we're going Cult Record 1, which is the first game. New game. It's episode 1.
What I love about it, because this is like a port of the DS version, which is called Played in Portrait. So what you'll find it does is, well, for a start, gives you the full picture. And then it'll do like zoom-ins into 4:3 and stuff. So we're just going to do it as presented because it's really, really well done.
Nice little port, yeah. So this is episode 1, the First Turnabout.
Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it.
August 3rd, 9:47 AM. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. Boy, am I nervous.
But you do it in a girl voice.
I was just being Phoenix, though.
Right.
Okay. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Should I be sexy? Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. I'm going for like plucky young lawyer here. Does that work?
Yeah, that works. That works.
Okay. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much.
It's over. My life, everything, it's all over.
Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him.
Death, despair. Oh. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die.
It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah.
Nick.
Hey there, Larry.
Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die.
What? What's wrong, Larry?
Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away?
The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her, Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying,
When something smells, it's usually the butts.
In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault, he just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do.
August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The, defense is ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous.
Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hand shaking. Eyesight fading.
To the Linkin Park lyrics. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. I think at this stage you can actually say all of them. So if you want to try some of the joke answers.
Oh, do we want to like mess it up a little? Yeah, because we don't have
There's no consequence.
We can't lose at this point. So let's say Mia Fey. The defendant, that's Mia Fey. Wrong, right? Look, I have to leave. I have to go home. I'm expecting a delivery. Oh, come on, Chief. There's no need to be going so soon, is there? Right. Listen, the defendant is the one on trial, your client. I mean, that's about as basic as you can get. I put my foot in it this time. I've got to relax.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more.
That's confusing.
Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
Let's go for us as well.
Okay.
The defendant is me, right? Right. Have you completely lost your mind? Focus. The defendant is the person on trial. You're his lawyer. Oh yeah, right. This is no laughing matter. You did pass the bar, didn't you?
Yeah, he had a drunk on his way over. Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
It's Larry Butts. The defendant, well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor.
Correct. 10 points to Gryffindor. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name?
Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name. Oh, the victim. Of course, I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the plus button to check it at any time, okay?
I just like the way it's introducing the game mechanics through dialogue.
I know, but I love like those moments where like you're in the novel, it's like it's talking to you and you're pretending you're a lawyer in a courtroom and you're gonna yell objection and then it goes, just press this button and you're like, where is this button? I'm a lawyer in a suit. What?
I like the way it does it because Metal Gear Solid does the same thing where it goes, press the square button and you're like, what?
Okay. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case? Did you check the...
No, what? Plus. So I can look at attorney's badge, which I'll look at. Type other for one of my possessions. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. We'll have to make sure we show it to lots of people.
It's very important, actually. We have Cindy's autopsy report, type reports, received from Mia Fey. Time of death, 7:31, so that's the 7th day of the 31st month. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood trauma. Loss of blood due to blood trauma.
Oh.
And we want to check the profiles as well.
And yes, then you can go profiles. So we have Mia Fey, age 27, gender female. Chief attorney at Fay & Co., my boss, and a very good defense attorney.
We've got Larry Butts, age 23, gender male. The defendant in this case, a likeable guy who was my friend in high school.
We have Cindy Stone, age 22, gender female. The victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself.
And Winston Payne, age 52, gender male. The prosecutor for this case lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across.
And that's all we have for now. But yes, so Cindy Stone is the right answer. But do we want to hear the other two again?
Just go for the right one.
So it is Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone.
Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was...
hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor? As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. That's how courts work, right? You just add evidence when someone shows up with it, right?
Yeah, that's the opposite. You're not allowed to do that, actually, are you? Statue type weapons submitted as evidence by Prosecutor Payne. Statue added to the court record. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Press the plus button to check the court record and do it frequently.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad.
Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony.
Didn't they all die?
I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
His passport type evidence, submitted as evidence by Prosecutor Payne, is added to the court record.
Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. Wrong voice.
You've got quite a few to keep track of.
Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but she did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
I see.
Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was.
Hey.
Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I?
So we've got to wait and see what happens or stop him from answering.
What do we think?
Stop him from answering seems the prudent thing to do.
Stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case.
Oof. How do you do verbal wince? Is that something you can... Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm sure that was the actual thing he said. I'm gonna die, I'm gonna just drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite.
Oh boy, this is so not looking good.
Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Hmm? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't.
Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I have an answer, honestly, is the right answer, because this is a direct question. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth.
But I like the way he didn't say it. Yeah, I was there, I went. Love his twitchy smile. Order! Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, ma'am, so, I didn't see her. And now you know why I've given Payne a whiny voice. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body.
Isn't this another voice you have to do?
Yes. Because I've done them beforehand. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Saw It to the stand.
I love the names.
Mr. Sott, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes. Mr. Sott, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Witness testimony, witness account.
I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in our apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there.
Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. We can. There was holes everywhere.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sword used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Perusal? What a strange word. Blackout record, type documents submitted as evidence by Prosecutor Payne to the court record.
Wordikins. Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
You may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor? All right, this is it, the real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. So remember, press the witness with the minus button or by waving the Wii remote. Then check your facts again with the plus button and point out the contradiction. Cross-examination. Witness's account.
So this is the same as before, so I'm not going to go into it.
I wouldn't say you have to reread the bits you've already said, so...
There's a couple of approaches you can take. You can press them on everything and see where it goes. But, well, you're going to press them on some things anyway, but we're just going to find contradictions, basically.
The other thing I want to do real quick is, now that we're at the point where we can do what we want, have a look at those pieces of evidence that we picked up. Oh, and we get a little tutorial. So you can also present it with
much better artwork than is actually in this particular game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good point. So swing the Wii remote like you're presenting evidence to do just that. You can also press present with minus. There we go. So we got statue, type weapon submitted as evidence by Payne, a statue in the shape of the thinker. It's rather heavy.
We've got a passport, type evidence, submitted as evidence by Payne again. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on the 30th, the day before the murder.
And then we have a blackout record, type documents, blah blah blah. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Which I believe does coincide with the death, at least. That's right.
Well, that last one's important as well. Well, that one's important, but not right now. The one that's important is the autopsy. Because if you look at the autopsy...
It has time of death, and he said it was
time
1.
of death is 45, and he said it was 1.
And the other thing is, he said he didn't go in, and then he said he used the phone.
When the phone was just inside the thing.
Should I press them every time, or should we just go straight to the contradictions?
Well, you can press them on the interesting things he says that we know against, because the trick with Phoenix Wright a lot of the time is that it's not necessarily the one you think it is, and sometimes you have to press them to get another option.
I was going to say, don't need to press this.
No. Not important. Well, actually, go back and press that one. I wonder what he says. Yeah, I'm just curious.
Half open, you say?
Yes, the door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd. In a big city like this, I thought. I see. And what happened next? You see, I was curious because I thought maybe, like, the fact that he said the killer left the door half open, wouldn't the killer shut the door behind him? But then he would go, oh, but it was a crime of passion. But,
Yeah, I assume I don't think we need to press this.
no.
Press this. So, you didn't touch anything in the apartment?
Yes. I mean, no, nothing.
Okay, what happened next?
I thought to call the police immediately.
So I'll skip forward one.
However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working.
Okay.
Oh, well, that is, like, mega suspicious, right?
The phone in her apartment wasn't working?
Yes, I mean, no, it wasn't, right?
But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you?
Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next?
Turning it off, public phone, that's
Yeah.
fine. And then it's time exactly 1 p.m. That's the bit that I would say is wrong.
Exactly.
So should we press or should I just present?
Press first.
Let's press. 1 p.m. Are you certain?
Yes, absolutely.
He seems really confident. 1 p.m.? Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him. And I have just the bit. Let's present. It should be the autopsy. It couldn't have been 1 p.m. at all. So,
Objection!
you found the body at 1 p.m., you're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m, for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
I can't get over it.
Objection!
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time.
I'm sorry. Okay.
After his testimony, I found that hard to believe. Mr. Sort, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m? Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart.
Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again?
Witness testimony, time of the discovery.
Yeah, you see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do. I've got this one.
Darn tootin'.
Because how the flip could he have been watching, should have been having the TV on when the power was out?
Precisely. I would press him on it first.
You think I should press? Okay, well let's press. Put him under some pressure. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio?
What has that got to do with anything? I mean, well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radius on the premise. No radio on the premises. Not radius on the premise? No. What? There was only one large television.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television.
The witness has testified. He heard the time.
Objection!
Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it.
That's what I'm gently fondling with my hand.
You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
Gah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sword? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sword? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. Those constant corrections are harming your credibility.
I should bloody well hope so.
That, and you seem rather distraught. Did you say the wig? My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sword. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. God, these voices kill me.
We don't have to keep them up.
I think we do, actually. But...
So, hearing the time.
Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yes, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. So, hearing the time. More catchy music. This is me wiggling. If there's no camera, I'm wiggling. So now you know. So, obviously the discrepancy is that this is the murder weapon. It's a statue, not a clock. Obviously. So we're going to press them on this.
Because I don't think there was.
A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene?
This is the first I've heard of it.
The murder weapon, right. And then we're going to press that too. The murder weapon.
Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Oh.
Something's fishy here. So we're going to present. We're going to object.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock, it was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
What? You with your objections and your evidence? Just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It.
Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may? Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch, you just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now?
Oh, yes. How did he see the time?
Exactly, if he didn't go in.
Yes. Your Honor, There is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove it I was there.
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard.
Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honour. Mr. Saw it. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Grah. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
Got the judge in this.
That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. Grah! Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death.
Jesus Christ, calm down.
Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright.
Your Honour.
You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honour. The sound Mr. Sword heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Try sounding the clock, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
So we'll go for that. Try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honour, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully.
Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker, after all.
So, we have heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25. Ack!
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sword heard and the actual time of death.
So,
So, Mr. Sword, it's because it's over the wrong character. Yeah. So, Mr. Sword, try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, what's he talking about?
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honour.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Indict?
Isn't it indict?
I thought it was indict.
It's just spelt funny.
Do you just pronounce it indict even though it's spelled like unfortunately?
Oh, unless like the English version has an extra letter.
Maybe. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sowett. come all the way down here to testify and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal, I say. You lawyers are all slime.
I almost had him.
Brr.
Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawyer. Chief. Listen up, right? Don't throw this one away, not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
Now, at this point, I don't think we really can without looking at the court record very carefully. And in fact, even then, I don't think it's obvious. This is really quite tenuous at this stage of the game.
Remember,
for the tutorial.
We can remind people quickly. It's actually this.
Yes. However, the difference between the two countries is not 3 hours, it's actually 7 or 8, whichever way would be the other way.
Yeah.
If you went east instead of west.
So the answer is yes. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
I see you've devolved into a Cockney London criminal accent.
Because he's a criminal. All criminals are from London. Now that I've just offended a lad.
Sorry. What? Oh.
You can just hide that again with one.
There you go.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
And we are going to present the passport.
Take that!
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours.
Oh, of course, it adds up to 12.
When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It, or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Oh, he went there. Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor? Very well. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty.
Woo!
Bitches.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
And with that, the court is adjourned.
It turns out that Frank Sort was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sort let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sort grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court. This is the defendant lobby number 2. Whew, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. What?
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
Thanks. I really owe you one.
Oh my god.
I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Hey.
That's me.
Oh.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook.
Sorry. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present.
A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't that just make you want to cry?
Larry. Are you so sure?
Excuse me?
I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathise me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right. Oh my god. Mia, stop. Stop. Don't you have something to show your friend?
So at the end of every court case, there's an item that you can show the defendant. Is it always that? And it's like a thing that cheers them up after the court case.
Right.
So it's after each case happens.
Something that proves how she felt about him.
It's like a bonus one, you only get one chance as well.
Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? The thinker, obviously.
Yeah.
Because if he made it, she must have liked it enough to take it to Paris.
Especially because it's hideous.
And it's heavy. Rather heavy.
Take that!
Take that. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her.
Huh? Where'd you get that clock?
This is the clock you made for her, Larry. You literally just handed it to us. She took it with her when she travelled.
She probably just needed a clock, that's all.
You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take travelling. Well, make of it what you will.
Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks.
Hope that made him feel a little better. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself.
Or believe in the you that believes in yourself.
Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me about it sometime, maybe over drinks. Mia, are you coming on to me? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said,
Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends.
but I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.
The end. We'll see what happens next time.
Yeah, we'll see you again next time.
Bye.